Marianne Binetti. Today I'm going to talk about using hostas in containers for low maintenance and beautiful shade garden color. Now there's 3 tips I want to remind you about if you plant hostas in containers and you want low maintenance. The first is the type of pot. Notice this container is lightweight. That's because it's a plastic container that has thick walls, so it insulates the hosta roots, both from the winter cold, because these are perennials, they live year after year and come back every spring, and also, more importantly, from the heat of the summer, and it holds in the moisture better than clay or wooden pots. So I like these insulated pots. The second tip is compost. I add compost to the potting soil when I add hostas to containers because that holds the moisture, and although hostas are relatively drought resistant perennials, you'll water less if you've added compost to the planting soil. And the third is to protect from slugs. So let me show you what I mean. See how lightweight this is. This potting soil here is full about half compost and half potting soil. So it's nice and loose, but it's still rather chunky. So add a little bit of potting soil, because hostas, like all container plants, they need drainage, and potting soil is lightweight. It lightens up the compost. Now, adding the hosta plants to the container, for great big containers like this, remember it's a plastic or thick-walled insulated container, I'm going to choose a hosta with great big, huge, beautiful green leaves. This one is called guacamole, and the hosta guacamole, it stays light in color, so it really lights up a shaded area. To get your hosta out of the pot, massage the pot, turn it upside down. If you see any roots, you can kind of tear them off so that they won't stop the plant from coming out of the container. And then, this is really good, slide it out. Now, because these roots are very compact, I'm going to use this serrated edge of my planting trowel to just kind of slice through them. Loosen them up a little bit. Now I will plant this hosta into the container. Basically the same level it was growing in the pot. Let me add another one, and this one is Maui buttercups. And this also is a beautiful light green one. Sometimes I like to contrast the colors of the hostas, maybe mix a variegated with a solid color. But the simplest thing of all is to have one type of hosta plant in each container. And you can just move them around for color all summer long. This is such a big pot, I'm giving it 2 hosta plants. Slice the roots a little with the serrated edge of my planting trowel. There you have it. I'm going to take this plant tag and put it right next to the Maui buttercups, slide it down into the soil so I don't see it, but if I ever do need to know the name, the guacamole plant tag goes here. And now protect from slugs. Well, the best that I found is Sluggo or Sluggo Plus. It's a pet safe slug bait. There's also brand names called Worry Free, Escargot. These are all slug baits that are pet safe but very effective. So when you spread the slug bait, you don't put it on the leaves of the hosta. That attracts the slugs. Just around. Pretty expensive stuff, so I don't use too much. And now here's a tip. We'll put a little bit at the base of my container gardens when I'm first planting. That keeps any slugs from the neighboring areas that are attracted to the hostas from climbing up the sides of the pot. Another tip to keep the slugs out is to wrap a copper band around your entire container, because the slugs don't like to cross copper. So I'm not adding any traditional fertilizer, because these hostas are going to stay in this container for 7, 8, even 10 years. I don't want them to grow super fast. I want them to just contentedly grow in the container for many, many years of perennial returns of summer color in a shade garden. This has been Marianne Binetti with easy answers for great gardens.